All right, guys, we're back here on Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel. What a day of SEC basketball.
Woo.
In the books, as we're going to close out our first stream we did. We covered 5 of the games from the day. Check that out if you didn't already. And now we're going to hit on the primetime games here. One close, one not close. As Kentucky rallies again, the 5th double-digit comeback, I think, of the season for the Cats. Where does that rank? I know it's top 2 or 3 in the country, probably. Florida went to College Station, took it to A&M, wins by 19 on the road against the Gators, who now sit all alone at the top. But what do you know, Max Barr? You're telling me Florida and Kentucky were picked 1 and 2 in the SEC to start in the preseason? And guess who is sitting there right now? In a pretty good position.
Is this the best day of college basketball ever? I mean, I have not taken my eyes off a screen since noon. I mean, I'm going on, I think, 11 straight hours of college basketball here. And I give me some more with the way these games are going. What a day, guys. Holy smokes. I can't even collect my thoughts right now.
Yeah. Well, best day of college basketball if your team won. If your team lost, maybe not so much. But yeah. I mean, we can kind of tie it in here. We're going to go one game at a time, but I mean, Florida is now 8-2 in the SEC. Kentucky is 8-3, and this is right back where we started. You want to talk about the twists and turns of a college basketball season, and I mean, just to do the full narrative here of how many people Florida's sitting there at 5-4, and we're wondering, this Florida team is just broken. This isn't going to be anywhere close to the team from last year. Kentucky, bottom falls out. You're just like, Mark Pope's getting fired. Maybe by the end of the season. And here we are. These two teams are at the top right now, both with 8 wins. And yeah, that's where we sit. So you guys hop on in. Lots of you will be here, I guarantee you. Daryl, don't forget, broken foot and all. $5 super chat to say that the win made the broken foot heal faster. I do think that's science proves that, I believe.
Yep.
Your team wins a big game. You heal quicker. We appreciate Daryl.
Playing through the injuries.
Right, that's all you do. So we will hand out some free memberships later, so hang on. Don't go anywhere.
Nice.
Free membership being handed out later tonight. But let's jump in, because we're going to, again, go game by game here. We'll also quickly touch on Georgia LSU. It's the only other game we haven't talked to, and give you our Saturday awards, which could be tough picking team of the day, to be honest with you. Team of the day could be very difficult today.
Two awards today.
Awards are coming. All right. And someone asked, did I see the North Carolina upset against Duke? Yeah, I saw that. I saw that ending too. Unbelievable. So
Illinois, Michigan State overtime.
Yeah,
too.
How about that one?
It doesn't stop
Incredible.
today.
Incredible stuff. All right. We're starting with Kentucky, Tennessee, because that was a game that just ended. We usually do this. Florida, we'll get to you in a second. But Kentucky rallies, as I said, yet another double-digit comeback for the Cats, and the sweep of Tennessee. We said, Max, I mean, this is just a team that has had Tennessee's number in recent years. And as that game's going along and you're watching this thing play out, I'm like, you're starting to see that confidence from Kentucky. Be like, you know what? There's a team on the other side. We feel pretty confident based on what happened in the last game. And I know people have already said in the chat, it almost felt somewhat eerily similar to the last game. Differences, of course, when it comes to certain things that played out statistically. But yeah, I mean, Kentucky was kind of the team early on that, just did not feel like it was able to make enough stops. Tennessee's offense was rolling there in the early going. Nate Ament, I don't care if Tennessee lost or not. This guy is he's become an absolute monster. But, I mean, the story once again, Max, and I'm going to bring it up. Otega Oweh, yes, he is undoubtedly in the SEC Player of the Year conversation, as we've said. But I just keep going back to Colin Chandler, man. And if you want to pick the ultimate X factor in the SEC this season, it may be Colin Chandler. because I just feel like that guy makes so many big plays. He did it the first game against Tennessee defensively, hits the big three here in this one, plays 28 minutes, only has 9 points, but 3 threes, 3 assists, had a couple steals, and like this is what we mean when we say Kentucky has found an identity. They have found their roles and fully on display in another double-digit comeback here.
As Mike says here, defense wins games. As Ray Lewis says in the opening scene of Madden 2005, defense wins championships. All right. How about that defense in the second half there from the Cats coming out after 8 threes combined between Gillespie and Ament at halftime? 8 threes combined. They finish as a team with just 8 threes combined from Gillespie and Ament. Not a single three-pointer made in that second half for the Vols. How about that halftime adjustment there, getting out on shooters for the Cats defense there? Had a few chats about the Modi rebound. Had a few chats about the Colin Chandler dagger. How about that Ortega Owe pass, ladies and gentlemen? How about that pass to find Chandler? Yeah, full team effort. You got 9 different guys in double-digit minutes. That's with 3 key players down. Shows the injury-proof Cats this year who find themselves right in this SEC title hunt. I loved the way they won the game. Banking on that identity, Blake, that defensive identity.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, I feel like that was one of the big things we talked about. Remember, and people will remind us, like, yeah, we were picking on Kentucky in the preseason about, hey, just in case this 3-point shooting's not there, like one of the key differences is not just going to be, hey, they may need to get to the free throw line a little bit more, but it could be the defense, and it could be a team that defensively is going to hit, a potential another gear maybe. And I think that was the big thing, right? Last year, at times, you certainly felt some ups and downs on that. It's been the same way this year, but I think if you're seeing how they've played here, now having won 8 of 9, I mean, that's been such an important part of this thing. And like you could even just look at the point total and be like, all right, that's a big difference when you're talking about playing these, elite type competition. But if you just see, especially again, like I get it, Kentucky fans, you're like, hey, we're going to enjoy this game, but man, can we get 2 halves, just 2 halves all together more consistently. I get it to not have to have these things play out this way, but it's going in their favor right now. The defense it's been the catalyst every single time. Like every time they've made one of these comebacks, it's just been simply, all right, that was a terrible half of defense. And now we're going to turn up the pressure a little bit because we have to. We don't have a choice by necessity. And so, yeah, I mean, at this point, 12-0 on the scoreboard. And tell Kentucky you got 20 minutes to win the game. You feel pretty confident they're going to turn up the defense, force more turnovers, and be just fine.
Okay, little pop quiz here. Kentucky won the battle of points in the paint. All right. By how many points do you think they won that battle? Just give me a rough number.
So at one point, I think it was 40-20. I could be wrong on that.
Okay.
But
yes.
I don't know what it wound up being.
It ended up being 44-24.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how you beat Tennessee. Now let's make the point. Akpara did end up playing nowhere near fully healthy. Akpara, that's one of the better rim protectors in this league. He was out there though in the crunch time, so he must be got to be good enough to go during those crucial minutes. But he only plays 11 minutes. Definitely affects the Tennessee rim protection there. Good games from Estrella and Brown. They had 12 offensive rebounds between the two of them. This is why I think is such an impressive win for Kentucky because, I mean, you don't have a negative assist to turnover ratio for Tennessee. They 17 team assists to 13 turnovers. You make 38% threes for Tennessee. It's not like you absolutely couldn't hit a shot. I think you have to give a lot of credit here to that Kentucky second half adjustments and that defense.
Yeah, they were more in attack mode, I think, on both ends of the floor. It felt like a team that was just simply a lot more aggressive, and that was the big part of it. So, yeah, man, I keep going back to the theme of you've got a team here. Like, you've got a team, whereas for so long with this Kentucky team, it just felt like you had a lot of guys, good individual skill, just had not figured out how to play with each other. And I assume you're laughing at the super chat?
Yeah, Kevin with a good one.
Kevin, who has been known to drop a few large super chats here at Southeastern 16, with a $50 super chat to say, I will spend the next month repenting and asking God for Kentucky to lose in the first weekend again. Now, Kevin, notable Tennessee fan. Kevin, dropping a 50 bomb here. We appreciate
MVP of the chat.
Kevin's super chats contributions here to Southeastern 16. But by the way, Grayson, $2 super chat earlier. Deja vu for the Cats. Also aced the chemistry test, which I'm pretty sure Grayson was skipping studying or something the other day to watch Southeastern 16. We're not telling him what to do, but did ace the test. So if more people want to ace their test, they can come watch, perhaps. But yeah, I see a team out there with Kentucky. Before, the difference was when they faced adversity, the way they faced in some of these second halves here over the past month. I mean, this team folded before. They had no answer. Mm-hmm. But these guys have banded together. They keep finding ways to win. And I know there are people, I've seen people out there, well, eventually it's going to catch up with them. Maybe, but they've won 8 or 9 at this point. I don't know. They just seem to find ways to make plays in clutch moments, and that's what happens. So,
yeah, huge for the Cats seeding too here. Before I'm trying to load the Evan Mia resume ranks here to grab the seed range for Kentucky, and before this game they were in the 6 to 8 seed range. You could say goodbye to that 8 seed range with a win.
Should be,
with a win like this, moving on up into that 6-5-ish range more likely, and pretty much now locked into the tournament, whereas the past about 2 weeks Kentucky's kind of been floating between 80 and 90% chance to make the tournament. Not quite there enough to kind of say all right, it's 95% chance or above. They're a lock in. I think you're there now. I think you're there.
Yeah, Kentucky entered at 28 in the nets. They had 4 quad 1 wins entering, so that's going to be a 5th. Yeah, I think that their seed range has definitely moved up after this one. Unless we always say, guys, we understand if you lose out or something, but you're playing the percentages here. So yeah, I mean, I think
6 or 5 right now. I think.
Yeah, I'd say 5 or 6 is probably the range you're putting them in as of this moment. Can they get to a 4? Yes, if probably, they were to win the SEC, or depending on what combination of wins and losses you have down the stretch. But I think 5 to 6 is probably the range you're looking at right now. So,
we haven't had a true Mr. Big Shot since South Carolina's Talon Cooper. Colin Chandler might be
He's
the
Mr.
new
Big Shot.
Mr. Big Shot. Yeah. I think it has to happen.
I mean, listen, and that's the thing. Is certainly we're putting a lot into this from a Kentucky standpoint because they won the game. But I'll be honest, and I know Tennessee fans are a little down here, but I'm still looking at this team. And, we played guess the stat earlier. If you tell me the stat that Tennessee gets 19 offensive rebounds, I'm probably yep. All right. That's about what I figured. That was the key. They won the game, right?
Yep.
But still, with Nate Ament playing like this, I mean, I think Tennessee's going to be okay. but it's frustrating because these are your two losses you've had, since the Florida game are two that, quite honestly, like, think about how differently we're talking about Tennessee right now if they just hold on to leads in both of these games.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So I don't want to overreact and be like, some people will, and say, Tennessee's terrible. Not true at all. I mean, they've lost 2 games to Kentucky. There are only 2 losses in the past month. And, it's probably more frustrating because you've had those kind of leads, double-digit leads in both, and lose by 2 and lose by 3. So.
Yeah, no, I'm not jumping off anything Tennessee-wise. I really like the way they've been playing. They almost just went to Rupp Arena and won with their backup 4 out for the season and their starting center not anywhere close to 100%, and going through a huge second half cold stretch offensively. I mean, they're a good team. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not a good team.
They can be a frustrating team, and I would agree with that sentiment. No question. That is
also true. Yeah.
And you don't advance in the NCAA tournament with almost wins. So these two will sting a little bit, but really, if you are, again, looking at a team that has overall played pretty well over the past month, I mean, Tennessee, you can do the Torvik filter if you want, Max, but they've got to be pretty high up there, I would think, just based on some of the combination of wins and really just 2 games they should have won, and Kentucky just was better down the stretch in both of them and beat them twice. So, yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee, since conference play has started, 21st in the nation. So yeah, I think they're going to be a really tough, probably 5 seed. It's probably a similar seed range as Kentucky right now, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, keep sending your super chats, questions, comments you have here on this one, Kentucky, Tennessee. Remember, stick around. We have our awards coming up too, and we will, of course, any super chats you have about this game, we'll get to them. Best way to get in, especially when we have 1,300 plus of you watching between YouTube and Twitter right now. So if you want to make sure we see your comment, it's probably going to need to be a super chat tonight. All right. As we said, upcoming schedules. Tennessee is going to go to Mississippi State on Wednesday, then host LSU on Saturday, and then host Oklahoma after that.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I think a good chance Tennessee be 3-0 in the next 3 games and probably still be right there in the SEC title race, which would put them at 9-4 if they can get there. Then we'll see where Vanderbilt's at because that's their next game on the road after that. Commodores stunned today by Oklahoma. Kentucky, meanwhile, you're telling me that we got the Florida Gators right now, who we're about to talk about, sitting at 8-2, the Kentucky Wildcats sitting at 8-3, and you're telling me that Kentucky's next game is at Florida on Valentine's Day. Could we ask for a better setup? Now, Florida, can't forget that they got a game in the midweek. They got to go to Georgia, which remember what happened in that one last year in Athens. So, Kentucky, Florida, next Saturday, absolutely must-see TV, 3 p.m. Eastern, ABC, the O'Connell Center. Get to Gainesville. It's going down.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
I'm glad that one is at 3, so that'll end by the time we start the late night prime time.
Thank goodness that game's not at 7:30 because it'd be a 3-hour game. Circle that one. When we do a watch-along, perhaps, because that could be a big one here on the channel. We'll see. We'll see what the schedules look like. All right, let's talk about Florida. If you want to keep talking about Kentucky or Tennessee, get your super chats in and hang on for our awards because we're bringing those and free memberships coming up here in just a bit. Florida just absolutely took it to Texas A&M on the road. The Gators at one point led by 28 in this game. They win 86-67. A&M led by 1 point at any point in this game. That was 18:09 left in the first half. Max, I can't say that I thought this would be maybe a 20-point game, but I think we both kind of convinced ourselves in the preview that this was a bad matchup for Texas A&M. And bad spot, bad matchup. And when that happens and you're playing the best team in the conference, that's going to happen to you.
Domination. That was class right there. That was a session in how do you be the number one team in the SEC right there. It was all the hype around this game. Game of the, big game of the weekend to decide sole possession of first place in the league. Texas A&M had only trailed by double digits once in all of SEC play against Auburn in a game they ended up winning. Now, this is a team that no one has been able to dominate. And if they have been able to dominate them for a stretch of play, it didn't last long. Florida just did something no one's done all year in SEC play, and the place was absolutely packed. I mean, you got to give credit to Reed Arena. I mean, that place was rocking early, and they didn't have anything to rock about. The ball was tipped, and after 5 minutes, it was after like 12 minutes. I think they were like 2 of 25 from the floor, like 0 of 13 from 3. This thing was over 10 minutes into it.
Well, and that's the thing. If you looked at the stats and you're like, how in the world did Texas A&M get more offensive rebounds than Florida? Well, it's because they missed a lot of shots. And, I mean, I thought that was it just couldn't make a shot. Yeah, like you said, 9 of 34 from 3. They were 13 of 38 from 2. That just, didn't force a lot of turnovers. And I think that's where, again, like for Florida to only have 9 turnovers here, I said going in, I thought Boogie Fland would be crucial in a game like this, not from a scoring perspective, but really just from a, ball handling defensive perspective. And I thought he was a big factor in both of those. And I know it's still, Daryl just brought it up in the chat. The threes they're not there right now for the Gators. Still shooting 28.8% on the year for 351st nationally. But, think about this. Think about the stat I just said. 351st nationally in three-point percentage. They're 8-2 in the SEC, 17-6 overall, headed towards, a potential probably top 3 seed. We said I think it's going to be hard for an SEC team to crack the top 2 based on all the teams in front of them this year, unless those teams just, completely fall out here. But, yes, could that eventually be Florida's downfall? Sure. Could you get some sort of matchup where somebody just absolutely finds a way to make them shoot a lot of threes and they just can't hit anything? Absolutely. But they can just control the game in so many other ways that they don't have to be a great three-point shooting team. I know you want them to shoot better, especially those two combined. I think 111 here, but that's not the story of this team. This is a team that is just, their front court is just completely controlling this game. I mean, we hadn't even mentioned King Reuben yet. And you know why we haven't mentioned him yet? Because we're just like, another King Reuben stat line. 10 and 15 here, 2 blocks in 21 minutes.
Yeah.
Ho-hum. It's just the defensive player of the year already crowned.
Pretty much.
It's what they do.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pull a Bruce Buffer and give a little nickname to Boogie Fland. I'm going to say the disruptor. He is the disruptor. Yeah. You think you're going to have a clean action? You think you're going to have a clean dribble handoff? You think you're going to get a clean bounce pass into the lane? Yeah, here comes the disruptor. It might not show up on the stat sheet, but this guy was everywhere tonight. Oh, I wish I had the stat. Florida Basketball Hour put out his plus minus. It was in the high 20s. I don't know exactly where it was, but it was in the high 20s. This guy was everywhere tonight. And I don't have Texas A&M's forced numbers through individual games, but only 9 turnovers for Florida. We said in the preview, all right, Florida's probably going to win the rebounding battle. They did by 7. I thought it was going to be a little bit more, but probably going to win the rebounding battle. Can Texas A&M force enough turnovers to counter that? No, Florida didn't cough it up.
No, that was the big difference, is that they just took care of the ball, and that was more encouraging than anything. I think just against a team like Texas A&M, which, like we said, you're not going to see a lot of teams necessarily like A&M out there. Just with the makeup.
Now, just hold on a second here.
Please.
We can't be jumping off Texas A&M completely.
Oh, okay. Is it Lord Withrow here?
Yeah. No. No. All right, you could go through 90% of the league and go, oh, look, they got murdered by Florida. They're a fraud. No, 4 days ago, they just lost by 3 at Alabama, almost won the game. No.
Yeah. I think if we're going to call A&M a fraud, if that's the language we're going to use, then Florida beat Alabama by more points, who A&M just lost by 3-2, and Alabama just won at Auburn. I mean, Florida, again, took it to Tennessee. He's been one of the hottest teams in the SEC. I mean, we can keep going down the line. I think to say A&M is a fraud just because they went 0-2 this week, including a 3-point loss in Alabama where they scored 97. Florida's a bad matchup for pretty much everyone. And so I wouldn't say complete fraud. Okay, all right, we'll meet in the middle. Fluke. Okay. I don't think they're a fluke, but I see what you're saying. So, yeah.
I think they're pretty good.
I think they're pretty good.
And matchups too, right? It's probably the worst matchup in the league. Yeah.
And look, I know you brought this up a couple times, William, but how did Florida do against Missouri? They lost the game. But if you've watched Florida and you're telling me that that's the same team on January 3rd that they are on February 7th, I don't know what to say because it's not. It's just not. It's a completely different team. And they lost that game by 2 on the road. So I think we're overreacting a little bit to that, but we can agree to disagree on that.
All right, Florida, Torvik, since January 1st, Blake, give me a rank. Where do you think the Gators land over the last?
They're not going to be ahead of. They're not going to be ahead of Arizona.
Nope.
They may not be ahead of.
What do you
Illinois.
think, chat? Where's Florida in the nation over the last 5 weeks?
I'm going to say 4. I'm going to say Illinois, Michigan, and Arizona are all ahead of them.
Okay.
Is that right?
Nope. Just one team is ahead of them.
Just
they are
Arizona?
2.
Wow.
2.
Who's 3 and 4?
Duke and Houston.
Wow. Where's Illinois?
5.
Okay.
Michigan 6. That's the top. That's your top 6. Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
That's how good
Well
Florida's
then. So you're saying that my gut bracket national championship matchup the last time, Florida and Arizona, we may get those 2. Wouldn't mind seeing that. So, yeah. All right.
the good teams this year, I feel like last year it was so centralized to like a group of like 4 or 5. I feel like that's like doubled this year in terms of like, I mean, just that top 6. I mean, geez, guys, Houston, Florida, Arizona, Duke, Illinois, Michigan. Wow. Those are 6. Like I could see all of them Final Four.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. So Florida just dominated. I don't know what else to say. And I don't know where if you're not buying Florida at this point, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to say.
That train's
the Gators are
left
the best
state.
team in the SEC. The Gators are the best team in the SEC, and I don't think there's a debate on that at this very second. But they have lost games, and everyone's lost games. But like we said, that's where the standings are right now. Florida's 8-2, Kentucky 8-3. Then you got that pack of teams: Arkansas 7-3, A&M 7-3, and we'll get to the others here in just a bit. So that's your top 4 right now in the SEC. All right, keep sending in your super chats, questions, comments, anything you got. We're going to tell you quickly about our sponsors. Then we're going to do a little quick. Actually, you know what? Let's just quickly give some thoughts on Georgia LSU, Max. Anything that stood out for you? Georgia gets the comeback win. They win by 12. At one point, they were down by 15. Still no Deaton Thomas for LSU. Max McKinnon had himself a game, but it's kind of been the story is you'll get a couple guys step up for LSU, but it's just not been enough. And the Thomas injury, I feel like, just really threw so many things off for them when they had a lot of momentum. It felt like, entering SEC play. But Georgia had to have that one, as we said. They were kind of on a slippery slope there. Had lost 3 in a row. And credit the Bulldogs for really turning it up in what felt like another one of those stretches for LSU at home that just kind of makes you shake your head. Georgia just kind of went on a run there after they got down early, and yeah, they find a way to win this one somewhat comfortably here.
Yeah, and it's it hurts LSU with Thomas coming back for 3 games, starting 2 of them, getting back to his 30-plus minutes a game, and then back out. It's constant rotation because they did have a little bit of consistency there with Jalen Reese as the starter. They were playing bigger. 4 out of the 5 guys in the lineup were 6'6" or taller. They were a tough team to score on. They were a tough team to offensive rebound on in some games. Sometimes that didn't show up, but they had the size there. And so, yeah, it's just been a rotating door for LSU. And it doesn't help when Mike Nwoko, who's been one of the only kind of consistent guys there in the front court, 5 fouls, 15 minutes. He couldn't play much at all.
Yeah.
Cannon Catchings, you're going to be getting an award later. First award of the year for Mr. Catchings. Yeah, team effort. I think we had 11 guys in double-digit minutes for Georgia. It was just, I felt like the same 5 was never out there on the court at one time. It wasn't a huge Samto Cyril game. It was a little bit of the backcourt here. Wilkinson, Kane, the guy's getting it done.
Yeah, I had to have it if you're Georgia, as we said, and so that gets them back to 5-5 in SEC play. As we mentioned a minute ago, their next game, home against Florida on Wednesday, so a chance to really keep yourself away from that bubble conversation, which they had gotten into before this one. So nice to go on the road, win by 12, and yeah, have Florida coming up, then at Oklahoma next Saturday, which could be a little tricky. And Georgia's got a pretty tricky stretch coming up because now the Oklahoma train is back on the station there. They're ready to go again. They go to Kentucky after that, home against Texas, and then at Vanderbilt. So big 5 games coming up that could define Georgia's NCAA tournament outlook, by the way. So,
Blake, you're telling me that Florida has to go to Georgia, where it's always tough, when Kentucky has the week off and Florida has to look ahead to that. Now Georgia coming off of a game they just won with a little bit of momentum.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Okay, sign me up.
Meanwhile, for LSU, they host Arkansas on Tuesday, and then they're at Tennessee next Saturday. So it doesn't really get any easier for the Tigers, who are 2-8 now in SEC play. All right, let's talk about some sponsors. And then we got some awards coming up.
Yes.
And some free memberships. So stick around. Send your super chats if you want to make sure we talk about whatever you want to talk about. Get your super chat in. But let's tell you quickly about our friends over at And Collar, A-N-D, collar.com. Performance menswear brand. The best of the best. They make polos, button-ups, quarter zips, pants, you name it. Don't forget about those features. Stretchy, affordable, and they make you look good. They've invented the Workleisure. Got the stain resistance. Spill whatever you want on there. It'll come right off. They got the comfort. Sam Smith always talks about the 4-way stretch. The wrinkle resistance, machine washable. Don't need the iron. Don't need the dry cleaner. It's lightweight. The price is incredible. And it gets even better when you get 16% off. SEC16, 16% off over at andcollar.com, andcollar.com. Go check them out. If you don't, you're banned from this chat. Next up, ROKFORM, ROKFORM.com. The world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock, secure mounting. Don't forget about the nice stuff they've got over there. Golf accessories, all the phone case accessories, everything. Head over there and get 25% off. SEC25, 25% off over at ROKFORM. And our new friends over at Icon Wallets. Yes. Icon Wallets. Tremendous, tremendous people over there. And remember, they have the premium Napa leather, 3 interchangeable university icons. They are an officially licensed collegiate wallet brand there. Find yours. Use the code SEC16 for 20% off at Icon Wallets. SEC16, 20% off over at Icon Wallets. All right, let's continue on here and give you our Saturday awards. Free memberships coming up after that. All right, Max, take the floor. It's yours. Saturday awards. Here we go.
All right, where do we want to start? Do we want to start at the top with player of the day or at the bottom?
How many awards you got? 40?
8.
17? Only 8. Okay. Let's start at the bottom and work our way to the top. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
As usual, we have our don't forget these performances and losses. And if you had a star player that performed as usual in a loss, he's not getting highlighted. We probably talked about him all year. Okay. Eduardo Klafke, the Ole Miss Rebel, plays 29 minutes, 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Now, how would you like them apples if I told you all 4 of those are career highs? Minutes, points, rebounds, and assists. Have yourself a career day, Eduardo Klafke. Achor. Mississippi State big man, 28 minutes, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. You're not going to hear anyone nationally talking about Achor, or maybe Mississippi State in general. But he has been a quiet piece in this front court that's found some consistency. Sean Murphy. I know we've talked a lot about Murph, but we haven't been able to highlight big-time games from him because it's always his running mate, Keyshawn Hall, taking the spotlight. Murphy, 27 minutes, 13 points, bangs a big-time triple, 12 rebounds. Have yourself a double-double, Murph. Max McKinnon has been on this list about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
The guy's been lights out, 26 points, perfect, 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, did have 3 turnovers, but Max McKinnon, where would LSU be without McKinnon? He's been fantastic. And then my last one, first award of the year for Marcus Hill, 22 minutes, 17 points. Yeah, 22 minutes, 17 points. He's on the floor to score, Blake. He's out there. He's scoring. Have yourself a nice little efficient night, Marcus Hill. There's my 5. Don't forget these performances and losses.
At least you didn't mention Rylan Griffin because Big Gator EJ did not want you to mention Rylan Griffin. He made some notes about royalty and Sir Tommy H.
We didn't appreciate that.
All right. What's next?
All right. The bully ball stat line of the day.
Oh, boy. I don't know what this is, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
We have the first ever points of the year in a bully ball stat line. We've got a 10-minute performance, 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 turnover, and 5 fouls. 10 minutes, 5 fouls for Dylan James. He's going up and down the floor every time coming down. He's fouling you. He's out there to bully you, not out there for anything else.
It's going to be hard to top that if you're looking for the bully ball stat line of the day. So I approve.
Now, that one's not a guarantee. There's no guarantee every Saturday there's going to be a bully ball stat line, but we're on a good streak.
You can't force that.
Nope. 10 minutes, 5 fouls, though. We really appreciated that effort.
That's a good point here from Holly. Anytime you start rubbing your hands together, that's when I know I'm like, this is going to be pretty good. So, all right.
Yep.
Continue.
All right. Now, these are getting hard because we had a lot of good performances today. So, Rock Lock Reliable Player of the Day. He could have won Player of the Day, but his team lost. All right. And we've got, there's a lot of accolades here. Tyler Tanner goes out there for 38 minutes, 37 points, 50% from 3 of 6, 14 of 18 from the free throw line, 9 assists, 3 turnovers, 2 blocks, 5 steals.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's like, think about how easy it is to make him the player of the day today.
I easily
But when you lose to the worst team in the SEC record-wise, I feel like I think it's almost like we're overreacting too much to that because of it's a player award. This guy's playing without his 2 fellow guards, and he just scored 37 points, had 9 assists, and 5 steals.
Could easily be player of the day.
Yeah. All right. Understood.
Yeah. All right. And then I've got my icon shooter of the day. Okay. My icon shooter of the day. She used to have we've changed the name due to business circumstances.
Your icon of the day.
My icon
The cash money shooter of the day.
Yes.
Straight from your icon wallet.
Straight from your wallet. Yep. You know who was paid today, Blake? Mr. Cannon Catchings.
All
A
these
nice
players.
5 of 6 from 3. 5 of 6. That's a season high in threes, and that ties a career high from last year. 5 threes today. I believe that was the SEC high for today, unless I missed something. But Cannon Catchings, shooter of the day.
Yeah. I think it was Tyler Nickel went 5 of 11. But, I mean, I think that was, I don't know if anyone else went 5, hit 5. I'm not sure. But, yeah. Of course, that was in a kind of rally attempt. So,
good shooting day from Nickel. All right. Defensive player of the day. This is another guy that could have been right in there for the player of the day. I'm going with 40 minutes of Trevon Brazile in a game where you needed all 40 of those minutes, not because the game was close, because your roster was thin, and you were only going 7 deep, and he gives you 40 minutes, grabs 8 rebounds, 7 of them defensive rebounds, great defensive rebounder. He doesn't turn the ball over once, and he has 4 blocks and a steal. That's just an efficient defensive performance, not necessarily in a huge crunch time game, but just when you needed it.
Yeah, you brought that stat up earlier. I think that's a good choice just based on what he did to contribute playing playing that many minutes. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that choice.
All right, freshman of the day. He hasn't won this award in a few weeks, shockingly, but you know who it's going to be. Yeah. It's the main man, Darius Acuff. 38 minutes, 24 points, 3 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, only 1 turnover. Nate Ament, you were fantastic. I think Darius Acuff was a little bit better today.
Yeah, I'm probably going to give it to Acuff too, just because of the winning performance there. But yeah, Nate Ament was really good though. He was really good.
He was fantastic. So, yeah. All right, team of the day. Team of the day. The next two are impossible to really have a far and away leader on, but team of the day, I'm going Florida. It was the game to decide who gets sole possession of first place. They were a 6.5 point favorite, and they covered that spread by 14 points. Yeah, just class. I said the word class earlier. It's coming to my head again. It was just it was a statement right there from Florida.
Yeah, my team of the day, probably would have never expected it to be this, but it's got to be Oklahoma. Nice. I know they were just completely on a 9-game losing streak, but if you go in on a 9-game losing streak and beat a top 15 team, I know we pointed out Vanderbilt fans. We know they're missing a couple key players, but still, Oklahoma needed a break. Needed to catch a break finally after the double overtime or double buzzer beater loss to Missouri and all the others along the way. So I'm going to give it to Oklahoma because they're probably not getting it much the rest of the season. They haven't gotten it so far this season. So I'll give the shout to Oklahoma here and I know the finish wasn't what you wanted it to be. You're up 19 with 3:20 to go and won by 1, but they won, and that's all that matters for the Sooners. So Oklahoma.
And there's one team that won a big time game that we have not given an award to yet. And so for my player of the day, I'm going Otega Oweh. It might not be the absolute flashiest stat line, but since it's Otega Oweh, 21 points just seems like shrug it off. Yeah, he just scored 21 with Bishop Boswell guarding him. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 36 minutes, and he has the pass of the game kicking that thing out to Colin Chandler to find that go-ahead shot. I'm going Otega Oweh player of the day.
All right, since you're going to go Oweh, I like to have some variety. I think I've talked myself into it, and there may be some criticism for this pick, but I'm picking Tyler Tanner because I don't think Tyler Tanner is to blame for Vanderbilt losing to Oklahoma. I don't think it's his fault. The guy went for 37, 9, and 5.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could ignore that stat line. And again, you can say, oh, wait, trust me. If you watch that game and you think Tyler Tanner was to blame, you're watching another game because since you picked Oweh, I'll pick Tyler Tanner. It's so weird because I'm picking the team of the day, the team that scored the big upset on the top 15 team, and I'm picking the player of the day from the top 15 team. But to me, I mean, that's a stat line where if anyone else puts up that stat line, I'm probably going to be like, I got to pick him. So It's an individual
Two things I wanted to, two other players I just wanted to make sure we mentioned. Tommy H with just a calm 22, 7 and 3, 2 of 4 from 3.
Tommy H just went to work today. The guy just went to work. He brought a suitcase. He packed a lunch, and he just came back home. He took his jacket off, unbuttoned his pants, laid back a little bit, watched a good show on TV, had himself a nice beverage. That's all this man did for today. Come on. He went to work. Come on. Tommy H.
Yeah. We had to get some Tom chat in. And then I wanted to mention Voki Titus from earlier. 27 points, 9 of 12 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds. Yeah. I mean, I didn't find a spot to fit him in, but I mean, geez, that's a guy that's had foul trouble, hasn't been able to play full games, 35 minutes, gives you a great performance out there to close it out down the stretch there, going on that run the last 3 minutes. So I wanted to shout out Voki Titus.
I like it. All right, there you go. Our awards. You guys can give your awards in the chat. Big Gator EJ. What was it? Super chat. Why can't I find it? You had one somewhere. There it is. $5 super chat. A&M. I think Big Gator EJ, I think, coming out of this game, not too happy about the Aggies. I think perhaps a new rival has been created there. Look at Matt. Who's barely jumped into the channel this year.
Matt!
Still a fine member here at Southeastern 16.
There we go.
Matt's here. He's spelling CATS in the chat. He's arrived. An all-time legend at Southeastern 16.
Blake, just about that Big Gator EJ super chat real quick. Buckyball is doing, well, it depends on what way I want to phrase it, but he's doing a pretty good job at making rivals in this first year, just in terms of that style of play. Buckyball stirring the pot a little bit. Stir the pot, you could say.
We need to keep these coaches that are at these different places and where they are for a while, because if you're telling me I get Todd Golden, Nate Oates, Bucky McMillan, like Stephen Pearl, like a lot of guys that I think they're not afraid to just, let you know what they think sometimes. I'm okay with that. I like that group. That 4 right there. I think that's a pretty good 4 guys that just are going to tell it like it is. Chris Beard, throw him in there.
He'll get tossed.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Okay, here's what we're going to do on the way out, since we have such a fine group of people in the chat. We're going to hand out some memberships. We've not done that this month, so let's go ahead, Max, and hand out 5 memberships here at Southeastern 16. We'll save our other freebies we get here in a bit. People are asking us what's Kentucky going to be ranked on Monday. Remember, guys, we are the least knowledgeable AP poll people on the planet, maybe, that cover college basketball. I could not tell you a single thing about the AP poll this season.
I get surprised when I see the graphic on the screen because I'm like, who's ranking Florida 17?
I don't know who's
ranking Florida 17.
I didn't even know Kentucky wasn't ranked, to be honest with you, until you're watching it on the screen. I'm like, oh, okay, they're not ranked. I had no idea. I didn't know Tennessee was ranked 25th. I didn't know Florida was ranked wherever they ranked. I just don't pay attention. So
yeah, because Sally Johnson with the Phoenix Times Press ranks Florida 24th and ruins the whole ranking.
I don't know. I have no idea. I used to pull up the AP poll every week and share it on Twitter. I can say it's the first time in probably however many seasons I've not gone to the AP's website and pulled it up once. Just don't care.
See what you do to us? You just
what we should do?
We read the word AP poll and we lose it for 2 minutes.
You know what we should do on Monday? We should do our power rankings and also do a 1 through 25, make your own AP poll and see how close we get. So if you had to make your 1 through 25 poll, see how close we would get to the AP poll. We should do that at some point this week.
I like that.
All right?
I like that.
Before we hand out memberships, Matt has just gifted out 10. So here's who all's getting 10 from Matt, and then we're going to get to our handing out the gifts. Look at Matt. Shows up and decides to show us up. How about that?
Nice.
Iron Kentucky.
Oh,
a legend of the
nice.
chat. Membership.
Nice.
Ryan got a membership. Nathan got a membership. Wyatt got a membership. Shane got a membership. Ryan got a membership. Gravy. I think it says Gravy. Got a membership. Steven. Jeremiah. Brent. Unbelievable. The memberships being handed out. Remember, these are random. We do not pick who gets the memberships. They are completely randomized. So don't blame Matt if you didn't get one. Don't blame us if you don't get one here over the next 5. And if Holly doesn't get one, I don't know what else we're going to do. So we've done our best here. All right, here we go. 5 free memberships coming up right
5
now.
more.
Let's do it. And Withrow. Rigged. Come on. All right, here we go. Who's getting 5? Who is it? Who is it? And it is the first person. Lord Withrow gets the membership on the first one.
Can't
Big time. Big time Timmy Jim gets one. Jeff gets one. Big Vol got one. Boo got one. Incredible. Matt
Not
just
really.
sent out. He's
Matt,
5
more.
Joe Mother gets a membership. Nathan gets a membership. The transplanted Texan gets a membership. Kalen gets a membership. And one Tuffy gets a membership. Wow. Incredible stuff.
It's a party.
It's a party in the members' lounge here at Southeastern 16. Wow. What a finish to this incredible, incredible day of SEC basketball. Holly, there's got to be something. Like YouTube has got to have a setting that basically is a do not let Holly get a membership setting. Got to.
Holly, you are just stuck in a little...
Hold on. We got 10 more coming up. Mother Carol just sent out 10 more. Let's read them off right now to all of our other new members. This is incredible. What a night for the membership. I'm probably going to miss some of these because we've got so many coming through the stream here. I'm not going to be able to catch up with all of them. Double D, Seth, Tyler, Walker, Sean, Cal the Hogfather, Sens 9141, RJ, Jelly Mac. Hold on. Did I miss any? I don't think so. I think that's it. Wow. All these memberships just being handed out. Remember, are you kidding me right now? Did Matt just hand out 10 more? Are you kidding me? All right. Well, this is what we do here at Southeastern 16.
I don't think I've ever seen such a thing.
MD, The Great, Askia, Ghetto Suave. I don't know what the next one says. Casey, Raz, Industrial Kid, JP, who else? Benjamin, Desmond. Man, we got new members everywhere. Incredible stuff.
Oh, my.
Look at this.
Wow.
Look at this.
Guys.
Oh, my.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you to everyone who handed out free memberships. Remember, if you are a member, you do get free memberships to hand out every single month. So you, too, can be like Matt or Mother Carol and hand out memberships here at Southeastern 16. Also remember, these memberships are for the supporter tier. That is a tier that if you renew, $3.99 a month, that is a support tier. You support the channel, you enjoy these live streams, you want to support us and our work for all the 3 sports that we do. And if you want to upgrade that by $2 a month, get you to the MVP tier, and that gets you our weekly and monthly bonus content here at Southeastern 16. Max and I playing a little college basketball 2K8 where we coach the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yes.
Blake Barr is the name of our coach. Currently one of the best teams in the country. Episode 4 coming out this week.
We got heart.
We're great. We do got heart. You get our mailbag, our Southeastern 16 mailbag, where you can ask us anything you want, and much more. So upgrade to that. And if you become a legend, then, folks, you get your own show. You get to join us for a show, pick a topic, all that stuff. You can check out our members playlist if you go to the main page and see what that's all about. We've got several of those up so far. Mother Carol, Big Gator EJ, Sam have all had their own legend shows. So check it out. All right, what a finale here.
I know.
This is like like a fireworks show. You know, you do all the stuff where you're just like, all right, let's get through these to really get to the grand finale. And that's what we had here at the end of this episode.
We've got our main guy, Kevin, with the $50. We've got
oh man,
Cats fans,
man,
giving the gift that keeps on giving.
man.
We got Gators fans super chatting away. My gosh.
Next Saturday, Florida, Kentucky. This chat is going to be booming for that one. All right. We appreciate you guys. Power rankings coming up on Monday. So if you're an MVP or Legend 2, you also get to send in your own power rankings, and we put them into the formula. Yep. So send those in. We'll put that out tomorrow. All right. You guys are the best. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate all the fine memberships handed out. Holly still did not get one. We're going to need you to check the settings 58 times before we hand out memberships again. Because there's no way Holly would not have gotten one by now. So, all right. We appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon here at Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel.